doctor perspective, you and your diet break. Welcome to the Ask Your Doctor segment on the show where our doctor, Dr. Margaret, answer questions sent in by our viewers. Don't move a muscle, we'll be right back after the short break.
Hi people, my name is Dr. Margaret and this is the Ask Your Doctor segment of the program. And my very first question for this week says, good Emma, have been married for years without children and I do not really observe my ovulation. What do I do? My cycle is 26 days. Well, by God's grace, this year, we are going to have, before the end of this year, you are going to carry your bundle of joy. So now, since you have a 26-day cycle, that means, apparently, let me believe maybe you've been using 28-day cycle. With 26-day cycle, your cycle, that's going to be, your ovulation days will be 26 minus 14, that's 12. So when you want to calculate when you'll be ovulating, you start from the 12th day. That's 26 minus 14, that's 12. Starting from the first day that your menstrual flow started, that's 1, down to the 12th day. So a day before it, that's 11th day, 12th day, 13th day. These are your 3 basic ovulation days, fertile days, where you can achieve pregnancy if everything is okay with your husband's semen. What I mean by your husband's semen is he has a good semen count, analysis is okay, morphology is okay, and everything is perfect. So with this, there's no reason why you should not be able to carry your pregnancy. And also, if you are also okay with your hormonal issue, if you don't have hormonal imbalance, definitely you should ovulate. And if your husband has a good semen, I can assure you that this is for you in Jesus' name. Okay? So I wish you all the best. Alright, my next question says, Doctor, please, the result of my urine culture test is growth of Staphylococcus isolated. Please, what next? Okay. She can still take some certain drugs, certain antibiotics that will still be prescribed to her. Please see a doctor that will prescribe right antibiotics that she can take that will not affect her pregnancy. And also you need to also take certain antibiotics too, and the ball will disappear basically. Okay, my next question. Hello doctor, I have irregular monthly flow for many years now, please help me. Okay, having irregular monthly flow for many years, the first thing that will come to mind is 1, PCOS. Maybe it's an issue of polycystic ovarian syndrome, and at the same time it could be an issue of hormonal imbalance. So these 2 things are major things that could be responsible for irregularity of your flow. Please visit a doctor, or first and foremost, run hormonal profile test and run a scan test where they will detect whether it is polycystic ovarian syndrome or not, and then see your doctor with this test result. So it will make it very easier for your doctor to just prescribe medications for you because you already have the test results in with you. My next question is, Doctor, what is the difference between low semen count and watery semen? Okay, low semen count basically means when a man has a semen that is not enough to be able to pregnate a woman. And a watery semen is when the semen is actually watery. That means it doesn't have a strong motility. So even during intercourse or even after intercourse, the semen pushes out from the woman's private. Do you get it too? So low semen is it's not able to pregnate the woman. Now it is now watery. When it's now watery, it means it is watery, it doesn't have a good motility, that we're able to travel very fast so that to be able to achieve conception for the woman. Thank you. My next question, good day doctor. I want you to advise me. My fiancé sees a monthly flow twice in a month and it is always painful. Okay, for your fiancé to be seeing a monthly flow twice in a month, I think I've answered this question a series of times on our different segments of Ask Your Doctor. I said it depends. It could be that maybe she has a short cycle. So if a lady has a short cycle, most times she tends to see her flow twice in a month. And if it's not because maybe she has a short cycle and she's seeing it maybe twice in a month, then she needs to see a doctor for proper investigation. Alright, this is how much you can take on to this episode of Ask Your Doctor. I want to say a very big thank you for staying tuned. Please still stay tuned. The program continues shortly.
Hello viewers, welcome to the Doctor Perspective on MAXI Health. And today I have a beautiful doctor with me, Dr. Ebon Olua. Thank you. You're looking good today. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about Alzheimer's disease and how it affects us. So doctor, what is Alzheimer's disease? Some people they are in the world for the first time, so please can you just explain what this is?
Alright, thank you so much. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease that destroys the memory and other mental function. So it could be thinking, it could be reasoning, it could be any of the cognitive aspects of the brain. So a person suffering from Alzheimer's disease will not reason the way a normal person would do. And don't forget I said it is a progressive disease, that is, it is in stages. On the long run, people suffering from Alzheimer's disease might not be able to carry out their day-to-day activities, such as communication. They communicate every day. So on the long run, they might not be able to communicate. They might not be able to, pick their phone calls. They might not be able to even get themselves dressed up. That is how bad Alzheimer's disease can be.
Okay, so it is dementia related to Alzheimer's.
Of course, Alzheimer's disease is related to dementia because Alzheimer's disease is the most common type of dementia. About 60 to 80% cases of dementia is Alzheimer's, and that's why when you hear that somebody has dementia, that person has issue with their memory.
So how does this start?
Alright, it starts with forgetfulness. A situation whereby you can't remember where you place your car keys. It starts with your phone, basic items that you do every day. And so one of those ways it also starts is difficulty in using the memory.
Can you please explain?
Yeah, difficulty in using the memory in what sense? It's a situation whereby you can't just remember things. Alright? Or you find it difficult to remember things that you do day to day. You find it difficult to remember your neighbor's name. So that's what I mean by difficulty in using the memory.
So what are the danger signs of Alzheimer's disease?
Alright, the danger signs of Alzheimer's disease, the first one is basic forgetfulness. Alright, so when a person starts forgetting things, and it comes every now and then, that is a sign. Then you need to see a doctor. So that is the first sign, And the second sign is a situation whereby it becomes more than just a memory loss. Alright? A situation whereby you find it difficult to organize yourself. You find it difficult to speak. People with Alzheimer's disease most times have difficulty with language, they have difficulty with calculation. That is another danger sign. Another danger sign is emotional changes. Yeah. On the long run, people with Alzheimer's disease become violent. Yeah, they become violent. They begin to hallucinate. They begin to see things that are not there. They get to a point where they feel that everybody is against them.
That's serious.
So another thing is that they lose their self-control. They are unable to control themselves. Why? Because the parts of the brain in charge of this specific function, that is reasoning, thinking, talking, and all of these things, is damaged. The brain cells are damaged already, and that's why you see people with Alzheimer's disease suffer from all of these kind of things. Another thing is they lose their independence. I mean, somebody that cannot remember things, that is becoming violent, that is hallucinating, that can't calculate. You know, it gets as bad as they can't even dress up themselves. They can't even recognize people. They can't remember incidents or situations that has happened over a long period of time. Alright? So those are the danger signs to watch out for. So if you have anyone around you losing their independency, you know, with all of these, alright, the risk factors for Alzheimer's disease is being over age 65, which means that people that are above the age of 65 tendency of suffering from Alzheimer's disease, a family history of Alzheimer's. So if any of your parents or your uncles, somebody in your lineage has suffered from Alzheimer's disease, you are at risk of suffering from this disease also. Another one is it can be inherited. Yeah, it can be inherited in one sense. It might be inherited from the gene. From the gene of, yeah, it's genetic, thank you. From either of the parent. Another one is head trauma. Head trauma, as much as possible, make sure you don't suffer from any kind of accidents that will affect your health. Then another risk factor for Alzheimer's disease is depression. Depression can, of course, depression has to do with the brain. So when people go into depression, they put so much stress on their brain. They put so much stress on later results of Alzheimer's disease. So living a healthy lifestyle is very, very important. Taking supplements, taking medications that would help your brain health. Speak to somebody. You don't need to stress your brain. And when you do all of these things, you will be fine.
Thank you so much. So you heard from Dr. Bolua, please live healthy life, because all these things is boils down to living healthy life. So live healthy life, and as a man, this will be far from you. MAXI Health continuation.
Let's welcome our fitness instructor telling us how to be physically active and stay fit. We'll be right back after the short break.
I